let me go back here real quick because there's some stuff here. Again, that's my wife, Dina. Yes, she married up. That's my daughter, Drea, 4.5. My son, Mark, 8. This is me in the backyard. If you guys know or follow me in Thanksgiving, I actually turned my backyard in Ohio. My wife's family, my family get together, and we have an awesome time out back. And it's amazing. It's a get together for lifetime memories. My father-in-law is in his late 70s. My dad, it's just memories that we're all going to remember forever. That's what this game is about. I lead the Dealmaking Alliance, the Dealmaking family. We have about 170-ish people, members and fellow mastermind members in these groups. We meet all over the country and out of the country. We're taking jets, connecting in big events, and just really forging deep relationships with great people. That's a 1978 Econoline van. This is 1996, actually. That's me in front of my building, my first office. Down that below, there's 2 apartments above. That's not my apartments, but that's where small town Thurston, and that was the truck I was running around with, rainbow spouting. Picture 18 years old running around in that truck to now becoming the magician. I was at one point in the game, I was 24 hours from bankruptcy, working and thinking like a mule. And that's what I hope to enlighten you guys, give you some insights. Like I said, if you have anything, this is a genuine, real call. I have nothing here to sell you at any level. I just want to be valuable to you and give you some real insights because I know there's opportunities as a collective here. But most importantly, I want you guys to understand that there's never been a bigger opportunity than what I've seen right now. I have like hundreds of cash flow investments I've done, actually thousands of cash flow investments I've done over the years. I've done over 10,000 units in active income in my real estate investment company, equity partner on thousands of real estate units, which acquires. For me, it's active. It's acquiring passive cash flowing assets. So I want you guys to think about why we're talking today. My goal is to reframe where you're at, like take where you're at today, where you're at, most importantly, where you want to go. And we got to help bridge that gap. And I hope I help you accomplish that much quicker with our hour that we get to spend here today. But think about buying cash flow. See, everyone thinks about buying stuff, but my mind's thinking constantly, buy cash flow. So I'll give you $100,000. How much cash flow can I make? And the more cash flow I make, the more cash flow I can go make more. I just take that cash and just keep rolling it. Generated a media company 8 years ago. It's an 8-figure business. Data company. This is one of our biggest expenses in our real estate company. Turned that into an 8-figure asset, which is pretty cool. Created a fairly large fintech company. Still working on that every day. Education company. This is a passion project. It's the DM Alliance. All my book sales go to charity. 100% actually go to charity, and it really allows me to grow and connect with great people. Active income, but one of the most rewarding. Education is very complex because you're dealing with humans, right? E-commerce, invested in a lot of crypto. Still actively very bullish on crypto. I'm not here to sell investments, by the way. I'm invested in card industry, trading cards. That's a strategic investment with a bunch of big players. High-end gun business. That's a pretty interesting business. I like guns, and I like investing in good gun people. They're very loyal and hardworking. Invested in multiple restaurants, franchises, passive strategic plays again. And I'm partnered on many other companies. One company in particular, they gave away, that I'm partners with, giving away over $13 billion, I think now, with another company over the next 24 months. We're going to give more. Write this down. This is a cool method. It's called the COATEL method. It's a great way to make millions of dollars off of billion-dollar companies. It's very powerful, and lots of people do it. Most people never talk about it. We'll share that with you. As I said, my books, masterminds, and coaching, all my books, 100% of the net profits go to charity, but all my stuff that I do only equates to about 1.5% of my annual revenue. The reason I share that with you is I'm not a guru. I'm not a guy that's like out here, hey, get coaching and get rich, do nothing, and pay me, and I'll show you, and that's all I do is coaching. I'm actually a business owner. I'm in the trenches with you, and it's a very small piece of my income. Not to say I would do it for free, because no one would win, but at the end of the day, just to give it context to you, and this is something you should always ask, by the way, any groups you're a part of, ask them where do they derive their income from. If they're deriving it only from coaching, you almost have to question, what else are they going to teach me? Are they going to unless you're trying to learn the coaching business, which I'm not here to teach you that. I'm here to have you look at this screen and see this white Corvette. I want you to take a second and really look at that white Corvette. There's a meaning behind it. Not only did I buy my dad a white Corvette, his dream car, and gave it to him as a gift. It was one of his things he wanted to do. I think it was like 2 years ago I did that. But I want you to see that, because when you see this white Corvette over the next 48 hours, I bet you see more white Corvettes on the road than you ever have. Not because they haven't existed. It's because you have not consciously or subconsciously paid attention to it. And the reason I'm sharing this with you too, this is like opportunities. See, when you understand there's opportunities everywhere, and I'm talking everywhere. You walking into the Mexican restaurant, you see the opportunities. You meet the guy on the street talking about XYZ, you're thinking opportunities. You're creating a resourceful database, a bank in your brain of connections and community of people. Hey, I got this good news. Hey, I got a buyer wants to buy it. Cool, let's put them together. Boom, get in the middle. White Corvette. Think about it. A lot of people always want, dude, what's the DM on your name stand for? Life-changing deal maker is what my buddy Ed says. And that is why we are here today. But the truth is, it means dream maker to my mother and my family. I am the one. I'm the one that's changed the financial trajectory to every single person in my family. Without me, they would be broke mentally, emotionally, and financially. They have worked their ass off and to get beat up every day. So I stepped in. I carried it on my shoulders, and I proudly carry it. My parents are amazing. My family's amazing. It's not that. But listen, when you're broke, it's hard. You're a victim by nature. So I was able, thank God, to be able to get out of that. And it all comes through mastermind, mindset, and growth with other people. To help you see where the life-changing deal is in your life right now, because right now, as I said earlier, there's never been more opportunity with gurus and experts telling you all the different advice. But the problem is, in buying real estate and acquiring businesses, there's a huge dark side of it. And it can crush your dreams. It can empty your bank accounts. It can definitely squash your confidence. And even best of us, if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to get taken advantage of. And that's why you're here, to borrow my belief, to learn about my network, to discover and capitalize on where the biggest opportunities are right now. So today I want to share with you the 5 really big ideas. And I'd love for you guys to let me know you guys can hear me loud and clear. We got a lot of people here. Thanks, Jeff. What's up, buddy? MG, C, Adrian. What's up, buddy? Ed, Curtis, Michael, Josh. What's up, guys? Cool. So I'm going to move that over. So let's get started here. So the big idea number 1 is behind the scenes, what really goes on to take your cash flow and profits and turn it into an 8-figure or 9-figure portfolio. See, I built my company through real estate in 1996. It doesn't matter if you're starting in single family, multifamily, commercial, or even you're a busy W-2 or high-level business owner earning cash to come in as a limited partnership. These are opportunities that we all have access to right now. The question is, you got to ask yourself, what season are you in the journey? The reason I bring this up is I see a lot of you chasing $20 million commercial deals, and you can't even buy a $100,000 single family house. You don't have the belief system. You don't have the connections to even make it a reality. So you think you're building something and you're working towards something, but the only thing you're working towards is a short board at the end of at the end of a cliff. Like, you're going to fall off. It's not going to work. I'm not trying to be a dick or bear bad news. I'm just trying to tell you the truth. Pick one and execute accordingly with where you're at. And then once we get a baseline of where you're at in that industry, we can start moving and zigging and zagging and scaling up to multiple channels. But your business, it doesn't matter. Growing your business, acquiring a new business, or investing in a business, looking to grow and exit. These are questions you got to ask yourself. It doesn't matter what business you are. I don't care if you're in a dildo factory. I don't care if you're selling widgets or gadgets. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you have a store location. It doesn't matter if you do HVAC. It doesn't matter if you do gutters. It doesn't matter about any of this stuff. What it matters, the question you got to ask yourself is, what is your unique ability in your industry? Because I see a lot of people talking about buy business, buy this type of business. If you don't know the dynamics of the business, it's like going to a foreign country where you can't speak the language and you have no clue what's going on, even though they just said, hi, what's your name? You're looking at them like they don't, you're clueless. You're in the right place maybe, but the wrong time to be at that place. So you have to understand, what do you want? Where are you at? I call it one step over. Let me give you an example. In my real estate company, I looked at my expenses. This is a great strategy for all of you listening. Look at your business, where you're at today, and look at your biggest expenses in your business. You already know, if you're, like, we were spending 6 figures a month on data to grow my business. And inside my business, I said, damn, that's a lot of money to spend. How can I buy or create a company that does this and own it? Because I'm not the only guy spending money in this industry on this type of information. So we ended up forming a company that's worth multiple 8 figures by doing data, one step over. I was already in the industry. I was already a consumer of the product. I understood the language. I just didn't have the company, and I wasn't facilitating the business. So we hired a guy, brought in a tech team, and built a data environment that allowed us, that I become the first customer. If it works for me, it's going to work for others. I was the case study. It worked amazingly well, and it's actually better data. And I was able to grow, not only grow the real estate company, but also grow the data company. You could all do this. We all have expenses, but you could literally buy a company that you're one step over. Where people get in trouble, they go 17 steps over. They're like, dude, I'm an HVAC guy, and then they buy a CPA firm company. They probably never even done books. All their books are in a box, right? That's the receipt box. So are you trying to grow your business right now? Are you acquiring a new business? Are you investing in businesses? What are you looking to do? And not only that, are you growing for cash flow, maximum cash flow? Or are you growing it for exiting? And the reason this is important is, cool, look, I want to grow for cash flow. Okay, how much cash flow do you want? You want 10 grand, or do you want $1 million a month? Because these are 2 totally different conversations, massively different execution plans. I think you would agree, right? Of course, the answer is yes. Big idea number 2, why acquire cash flowing assets versus building from scratch, right? So, time. The biggest resource that we all have that's fleeing us is time. The reason you're out here, you're on this call to learn how to make more money is so you can buy back your time. If I go to start a business, you understand the first 3 years are the hardest in any business, right? You got to set it up. You got to find the people. You got to build. It's hard. If I could buy a company that's 5, 7, 8, 10 years old, not only can I buy cash flow potentially, but I also can buy time. What is that worth? What is 8 years of your life worth? And not only that, you got the secret sauce as well as, what's the team look like? I don't know if you've ever hired people, but it's not easy to hire quality people. So if I have a company and a strategy like, hey, I want to buy a company for $5 million, it's going to be $1 million EBITDA minimum, and I want them to have 10 to 15, 20 employees or more. If these employees have been there long term, there's a reason. If the company is improving and they're underutilizing their opportunity because they're old school, they don't have autoresponders going on, they don't have email marketing going on, they don't have a website. These are simple lifts to grow this cash flow. But again, how much cash flow are you trying to acquire? And again, I just want to urge you guys, if you're not doing any business at a big scale, don't go try and acquire $1 million a month cash flow business. It's out of your league right now. Again, it's like you learning about baseball when you're 7 and you're trying to go to the major leagues. It's not going to happen. But the truth is, if you have a little bit of capital, everyone will sell you a course on how to make it happen. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. I'm telling you the truth because I care about your success. More importantly, I care about your time. I'm here to help you eliminate all the BS and get executing the profits. Big idea number 3, you need to become from mule to magician mindset. This is way going beyond just a real estate investor or just a business owner. When I've acted just like a real estate investor or a solopreneur, I found, again, there's a lot of mule efforts in these environments because we're just hardworking people. I believe everyone here is like hardworking, good people trying to figure out how to make a better life of themselves, right? But when you just mule without awareness that there's a magician effect, like, how do I make $100,000 a month net without working? A mule can't do that. Only a magician type investor. And I'm not talking a magical investor. I'm talking a magician type investor. Okay, cool. I can do 100 grand a month. How do I do 250 a month? Cool, I can do 250. And it just keeps evolving. So this is a game. But real estate investors and business owners can find themselves quickly to be out of cash. You ever feel that way? I have. Feeling way too busy or overworked and underpaid. Yep. Getting paid is not happening fast enough. Again, I'm sharing real stuff with you guys. If you're feeling stuck in a scenario and unsure of best options to take, you need to raise funds maybe. Maybe you need to exit a deal. Maybe you're like, shit, dude, I need cash quick. I need to sell ASAP. Maybe, and this is like very mindful of all of you right now, hopefully, are you worried about major tax issues, tax liability? Depending how you're buying, depending on what you're selling, depending on how much you've generated. There's a lot of tax opportunities out there because the IRS is your biggest partner in business. And if you don't do it right, it could be way bigger than it has to be. If you do it right, you actually could possibly not pay anything for taxes by maximizing the tax code for your benefit. So the big idea number 4, the focused investor or the business owner with a power network wins more than the talented, overwhelmed solo investor. I want to be straight with you guys. I think being a solo investor entrepreneur is one of the worst things you could ever do to yourself and your family. If you genuinely care about your family, you would build a real business. There's nothing cool about being a solo investor because if you die, your family's affected drastically. If you die, your dreams that you wanted to build and everything you've worked so hard for go away. We need to teach you how to start thinking a bigger vision, building the right team. Maybe you've had some bad hires and now you're like, screw it. I just want to be solo. I want to do it by myself, right? I'm telling you right now, it's one of the most selfish things you could ever be, a solopreneur. It's terrible. If whatever, and again, the way you find out that this is you, if you stop making money, what happens to your beautiful vision and your family and everything you care about? What happens? And if it's bad, you're a solopreneur. You have to step your game up on here. I'm being serious. It's very serious. Where do you 10x your focus and funds for the best opportunities while limiting the risk? These are things we talk about inside my community. Is how do we 10x our focus and funds for the best opportunities while limiting the risk? Because not all opportunities are created equal. Not all everyone's on a timing schedule as well, right? The truth is why everyone is whining about inflation, increasing costs, stalling markets, etc. We are literally 10xing on every category in our companies, on our investment firm, business building and scaling through acquisitions. By the way, if you're listening to my voice, I'm buying companies. Q1 will be our biggest buy quarter that we've ever had. That's our goal. Business building and scaling, we're full scale. SVPs hired, execution, marketing dollars allocated already. We're investing millions of dollars in Q1. Real estate investing, we're always buying investment deals. But the good news is right now, people are getting pummeled. The bad investors, the fake investors, the guys that was in high school or kindergarten in 2008 and 10 when they didn't even understand what they're doing. And literally Stevie Wonder could pick a great real estate deal in the hot market, right? Now all of a sudden things are changing a little bit, changes the dynamics. That's good news for you and I. Big idea number 5, clearly identify the gap between where you are now and where you're expected to be and where you desire to be. If you need motivation to kick this up to the next level, my question, and I'd like this to be interactive because this is personal to me, this is real. What are you doing all this for? What are you here for? What are you stressing out for every day? What are you overcoming this for? What are you trying to be here to get better for? What's your why? What's your why? Family? What's your guys' why? Be the one that generationally changes the trajectory. Love it. I would bet the majority of all of you, it's for your family. You're trying to do it for them. If you're doing it for them, we need to become a better you, version of you. Because 12 months, if you and I were at one of my life events, on stage sharing your story, and you closed the gap to achieve everything you wanted, financially, family, your network, fun, all this, what would it be? What is it? What would be the gap What's holding you back from accomplishing your dreams? I call this pillow talk. When you're laying in bed, your kids are sleeping, your spouse is sleeping, whatever, and you're just laying there, dude, it's 2 a.m. I'm scared. I'm excited. This might be in the same thought almost simultaneously. You're dry heaving a little bit. What would you talk about? What's the gap? These are things you need to be asking yourself. Because if you don't have these gaps closed, when are you going to close them? What are you waiting for? Waiting for the stars to line up? You're waiting for people to just knock on your door, show up, and give you money? I know you're not doing that, but let's get real. What's going to happen? So my goal today is to clearly demonstrate how together we can make that happen for you and with you. So if we successfully do that, this is one of our events in Cleveland, Ohio. We do 350 people a year. This year actually, in late June. At that event, we were able to donate over $711,000 to a charity in a 45-minute charity thing. They've never seen anything like it. Very proud of that. Why? The community, the network. But I'd like to personally invite to have me and my mastermind help you, which means we don't clearly show you how these new insights won't easily pay for any investment you ever do with me, at least 10 to 100x. I won't even invite you. I'm not here. But my ask is that you have to meet me by playing all in. Type all in if you're in. Are you in the game of life? Are you in the game to be serious about accomplishing your goals in 2024 and beyond? Are you trying to go at it yourself, solo, be the Lone Ranger? Or are you trying to get serious about your life and about your game to connect the dots so you can accomplish so much more in a way easier path with other people to help you, guide you, and gift you, and give you a direction and point you when needed? Right? All in. Lots of all in. Thank you. Here's why I share this. This guy you're looking at here on the far right, his name's Kevin. Amazing dude. They call him the Gutter King. Recently, we were sitting at the DM family meeting, and these guys, I need help. I got an offer for 17 mil. What do I do? So we start talking about generating multiple millions of dollars a year net. He's got $17 million off on the table. What are you guys doing? Do you take the offer? Do you turn it down? What do you do? Obviously, he turned it down. And you might be thinking, dude, that's crazy. That's wild, man. 17 million, life-changing. Well, you're assuming that his life hasn't already changed. You might be assumptive thinking. That's what's beautiful about these kind of rooms. We're talking about genuinely open stuff, real stuff. We're talking about real money stuff. Not some bullshit stuff that you're trying to impress your neighbor with some fucking shitty car that you just bought thinking it's a cool car, $50,000, $80,000 Porsche or whatever people drive. Dude, I got the new one. I got the 85 grand. No, dude, still a Porsche, whatever. Not knocking Porsche, but like people are trying to impress others for no reason. In these kind of environments, like, dude, we're there to help you. We're there. We don't have any dog in the fight. We're not there to tell him bad stuff to, make him make a goofy decision to affect his family and his life. So the key is, like, when I met Kevin in an event, a mastermind event in South Carolina, we're sitting in this mansion and we're talking. And if you saw my first picture, it's called Rainbow Spouting. 2 days after high school, started my first business, bought my first business called Rainbow Spouting. I had no clue what I was doing, but I got in the gutter business, and he's the Gutter King. So I messed with him. I was like, hey, man, I'm the Gutter King too. And we started laughing, and we connected, and ultimately became really good friends. He's a great guy doing amazing stuff. But what's cool about Kevin is he's a blue-collar guy like I am. I'm deep down a blue-collar guy. I might not look like I dress like it sometimes. But Kevin actively now is investing in buying in boring service-based businesses with high profit margins. As you can see, this is him at the event on stage. There's a couple other killers on stage there as well. We'll mention later probably. But the key is Kevin's actively investing in buying. Because inside the DM network, we're constantly talking about, dude, you're making millions of dollars a year. You know what you're doing. How do we start scaling rapidly now? One step over, verticals. Don't go chase the software company. Let's get another blue-collar company that's running inefficient and ineffective. This is my boy Tim Bratz. I met him 9 years ago. We met on Facebook. Craigslist. He was actually trying to sell some deals, and I hit him up because I'm a real buyer. I was looking to buy, it was like 63 houses, and he was wholesaling them. And I was like, dude, they just don't make sense for what I do, but tell me what you got going on. If I can help you, I will. This is abundance investing, by the way. It's not like, F you, man, I need the best deal. No, it just doesn't work. I can't. But let's make friends, and you're obviously doing something. I want to get to know you. We started talking, and we ended up doing the deal eventually down the road because the deal changed as time went on. But Tim recently in June he picked me up a pretty cool car, Lamborghini Aventador. He's been in my communities for 9 years. We've become great friends. We travel with families together at this point, but he's a doer. In fact, when we talk about the importance of your network, like I said, I introduced Tim to my secret funding guy, a guy I know very well, sold a company for a lot of money, and that guy's invested over $10 million with Tim. That's how networks really work in real life. And I want to think about the leverage. One relationship can bring a drastic difference to your life if you're hanging out with the right people. My boy Josh Z and I met as well in a mastermind. We were talking, and I was on stage talking, actually. He was sitting in the audience, and I was talking about the power of building a company with other people. And I explained to him, I don't know if you guys know this answer or not, but do you know what kind of percentage Jeff Bezos, you guys know Jeff Bezos, right? He owns a company called Amazon, or at least you think he does. And what percentage of Amazon do you think he owns that makes him worth $100+ billion? I'll make it easy for you. It's 12%, maybe 11% now. Jeff Bezos owns 11% of his company, making him hundreds of billions of dollars. When I first met Josh, he was a 100% guy. Everything he did, he was 100%. Now he's realized the power of that strategy, and he's able, within 2 years, created a company that did $1.3 billion. By the way, I'm not making any claims. I'm not taking any credit for these guys' amazing work. These are the kind of people in my network that I get the privilege to connect with, hang out with, and as well as our community members as well, right? So he is a DM member, and it's very powerful. He's a DM family member. He's crushing it. All these guys I'm talking about are in the DM community. Like I said, we've partnered with Josh on multiple things and other DM members as well, DM family, DM Alliance members. In fact, this is true story. This is from yesterday. If you're watching today live, I sent a partner. Him and I created a company off the COATEL method, and his cut for this year is $3,050,317.95. Now, what's cool about this, there will be one more distribution. And the good, cool thing is my partner put $0 in this. He came in with sweat equity and high-level knowledge that I don't have. He loves to do sales and operations and stuff. That's not where I shine. I know what I'm good at. He knows what he's good at. I've known this guy for 10 years. But this opportunity popped up. I saw the COATEL opportunity. I knew where he was at in his journey. I knew where I was at in my journey. I said, let me bankroll this, get this rolling. You come in, I come in. Here's the deal. What would $3 million do to you? By the way, this is just one piece of his earnings this year with this company. He's made way more. So if anybody owns a real company, you're sending out distribution checks quarterly. This is his distribution check for this payment. One distribution check, not all. Pretty cool opportunity. And if he's getting distributed that amount of money, the company's probably making a couple dollars. The reason I share this was not to be cheesy, not to be douchey or any of that bullshit, but to share real shit with you. Because the truth is, most of the people that you're probably following, they probably don't even have fucking $3 million. They probably never even made $3 million gross, let alone sending partners $300,000, let alone $3 million for a day. They haven't even made this kind of money themselves. So I'm sharing this with you to show you that's what real business looks like. Real business. Because I'm not here to teach you how to make $100,000. I'm here to teach you how to build a real organization that you can be proud of, that when you get to the end of the road 5, 6, 7, 10 years from now, you actually have something sellable. And I'm talking for tens of hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars. I think that's probably why you're here, I hope. This is my boy, Kyle. He's a DM family member. I've been knowing Kyle for 6 years. He's a high-level real estate investor. That's how we met. He came into the community 7 years ago, give or take. Great guy, has 3 kids now. His wife, Erin, they're amazing human beings out of Virginia. I've actually invested in multiple of his deals to help him grow his company. And then once he got to a certain point, he's like, dude, there's more for me in this life. Now he's on his path to build a $100 million company as we speak. He's right in the midstream of it. How? He went one step over. He looked at what the big headaches in real estate investing, where the opportunities lie, lead generation, and helping people buy back their time through admin folks. So he's created a company in that space, and he's absolutely going to crush it because he is a machine. He's a well-oiled machine that gets shit done, does what he says he's going to do above and beyond, and he's a massive executor. Another DM family member will sell and exit a company for 9 figures very soon. Very proud of that. That's my boy Nate. Frustrated agency. Generated a lot of money in his agency, acquiring media channels and all that. Him and I actually own a couple companies together. Actually, one now company together. And he has a lot of cool stuff going on. He has phenomenal businesses. He's a big newsletter guy. I've known Nate since 2006. True story. His wife and my wife actually went to college together. That's how I met Nate. He come and hung out with me in November of 2006 in Daniel Island, South Carolina. How do I remember it so easily? I proposed to my wife November 21st when I came out with my first book, and happens to be his wife's birthday. So it happened all at the same time. That's the only reason I remember. Great dude. He's my boy, and we've done a lot of cool stuff together over the years, and we'll continue to do so. But again, DM family member in the network, generating millions of dollars on some really neat things together. I'll share other examples from you guys for the DM Alliance family stuff later. But are you ready to see some deal walkthroughs and what's in focus in 2024? So I want to share something with you. Me and my boy, we did a deal. I actually came in with some money. This is an apartment complex. Again, I'm going to talk about different types of deals, so please follow along. If you have questions, please ask. But I did a deal. I had some cash. I had a tax situation, generated a lot of cash. I'm a full-time real estate investor. I do lots of deals all the time. But I'm like, dude, I need a big tax write-off. I need a big one. And I ended up finding a deal to be able to get almost $8 million in a tax write-off on an acquisition. Big apartment complex, 400 plus units. But I went in on the deal, and my capital outlay was $3 million to make the move. But what was cool about this, right before Thanksgiving, we get a call 2 weeks later, hey man, we have a cash offer $3 million above what we paid. What do you want to do? And I was like, my question to you guys, what would you do? $3 million. Literally, I could get a 50% return because we're partners on the deal. So I'm not only going to get approximately half, but like still a pretty good payday for 2 weeks, 14 days. Shit, that's over $100,000 a day. And I didn't do anything except move some money around and sign some documents. It's pretty cool. But what I did do a lot of is forge great relationships with great people that know how to find great deals. So I did do a little bit. It only took about 27 years to figure that out. But for me, I don't need the money. I want the money. I don't need it. The real play for me was the tax situation. So as you're evolving in the game of business, in the game of leveling up your income, and that's what we all intend to do, I hope, is you're going to need to learn the game of taxes. I have great tax advisors. I have great investors. We have the teams in our world. So we didn't take the offer yet. It's still on the table, by the way. And the guy wants it. He won't leave us alone about it, actually. It's annoying in a good way. But the opportunities are everywhere if you're rolling with the right people. Let's talk about acquiring talent, right? Acquiring talent, a case study, a business I invested in. This is now an 8-figure media company I've owned for 8 years. And here's what to think through. So I met this guy 15, 16 years ago in a mastermind room, talent pool, right? All mastermind groups. I've never lost money in any mastermind group I've ever been a part of, ever, nor have I known anybody. But I met this guy. He was in a different stage of his life as well as I was. But then about, 8 years ago, I needed help in one of my companies. So I hired him to come in and speak and talk to my team and help me create some media stuff for our company. And he's sitting there, he got done. He's like, Mark, dude, on the market, here's what I'm doing, here's what I've done. And I'm looking to do some cool stuff. And I was like, I'm in, because I understand media. I'm in the media space. Again, one step over, I buy media to get eyeballs on my companies. So I'm spending millions of dollars a year on media. So I understand the power of it, and that I'm not the only buyer. It's everywhere. It's billions and billions of dollars of media people. But I was like, hey, let's see what it looks like. And then we created a partnership. I bankrolled the opportunity. He did the sweat equity. And we built this thing up to a large company generating 8 figures of gross revenue a year. And, there's ups and downs, as all companies have. But the thing is, this thing is a steady thing. 80%, just to be honest, 80% of the team probably wouldn't even know my name. This company is built not on my name. It's not built like that. It's built as a real company, a media company with COOs, CEOs, SVPs, everything, managers, sales managers, all that good stuff. Just great people doing great work. So I want you to think through that. What is one step over in your environment? Again, this is another business where I acquire talent. It's just like buying a business. You're acquiring talent and opportunity when you acquire a company and cash flow. I saw this guy, I saw the play, and I was like, I'm in. And it's paid off very well for both of us and beyond. And this is a very sellable asset in the 8-figure range. I've shared a couple of good stories and real stories with you that made a lot of money and still do. But let me share with you the solar one that did not. So I did this deal probably about 8 months ago now. Guessing it might be off a little bit. I met this guy. I invested in a real estate deal with him. It worked out. He told me what he's going through in a solar company. I was like, cool, I'll buy it. Making some cash flow, or so we thought. Had the partner, was the active day-to-day guy, etc. And it was all fugazi, come to find out. So we invested $1.2 million into this. It was cash flowing. Supposedly, we get into the books once we were in there, and I broke a rule. I was too quick. If I would have just done one thing, and that one thing was simple, if I would have just verified, this sounds so stupid now listening to myself say it out loud, right? But if I would have just slowed down for 1 minute, and I want to be honest, I have the best team of the best lawyers. I was just moving them so fast. I was trying to close this thing in 30 days or less. And if I'd have just verified the income with a third-party source, we'd have discovered that this was not a real company at a high level. And I don't want you to feel sorry for me. I just want to be real with you, because not everyone can take a $1.2, $1.3 million hit. It actually is a little bit more, right? Because you have lawyer fees and all these fees and all these people. That company had 17 employees when we took it over. So that's not free, right? So our acquisition, our headaches. The truth is, me and my partner, Mark, I actually had a partner in this deal as well. His name's Mark. We actually got together and we're like, dude, let's shut it down. Because we saw it, like, once we realized it, what I see a lot of people go wrong here, they try to save the dead. You can't. I could work really hard and maybe squeeze out a couple of bucks eventually, but you got to look at this stuff and say, when is enough enough? What's my time worth? What's my energy? What's my brain power worth? It wasn't worth saving this company. Because what if I lift it 2x? Okay, cool. Now it makes $3 million a year gross, netting 8-10% margins. That does nothing to my life in any way, shape, or form. But what it was doing is stealing a lot of time from stuff that's working really well. And the reason I'm sharing this is not everything works out. You got to learn how to compartmentalize the L, lesson, not the loss. And you got to focus on execution, because the way to solve a money problem is to go make more money, period. There's no other way. But I see too many people sit here and, poor me, you don't understand. They got ripped off. No one cares. Get back to work. And I see too many good people lose track of what they're really doing. They think they could be Tom Brady and win every game without losing a game. You can't be any person winning at any level if you're not willing to take it out. It's part of the game. Case study number 4. This is one of my favorites. And if you're not doing this, there's pretty cool, amazing things here. But short-term capital lending. I've been doing, again, I'm an investor, real estate investor, and multiple investors in different things. Short-term capital lending is a very powerful tool. Let me paint the picture. I have a deal, $70,000. I focus really hard on finding the contractors, doing all the work. But then I got 2 days left to close and I forget to go get the money. Got busy. We've all been there. Don't act like you haven't. And if you haven't, you're not doing business. They call guys like me. Actually, they call my lawyer. And we underwrite the deal and we execute deals within 48 hours, typically, or less if we know you. Because I'm an investor. I understand the dynamics of the deal. I understand how to analyze the deal in nanoseconds. It's easy. There's risk, but as you get more knowledge, it becomes less risk. And they pay a premium for that because it's speed. They're buying time. If I told you the returns we got on that, you wouldn't believe me, but it's a lot. It could oftentimes be double-digit returns per month. It's very powerful. And you'd ask maybe why would someone do that? I would ask you why wouldn't they do that? Because let's say if they borrow 70 grand from me and pay me 14 grand, but yet they stand to make 50 grand on that deal, do you want to make 38 or do you want to make 0? Right? So you got to figure out, and again, that's how it works. It's called real life. It's called business. So a lot of different cool opportunities. Again, I'm not giving you lending advice here or anything like that. And I'm not saying everyone's created equal, but there is a process and structure to how we lend money, and it works very well. You know, we have an amazing team implementing and executing this every single day. Here's something I do for fun. Just bought 143 acres out in Ohio. That's the property right there. I know that does not look like 143 acres, but trust me, it's a lot of land. That big red dot, actually, that's a 5-acre pond it's over. There's nothing on this property except the barn. The guy we bought this off was a naturalist. So meaning that he didn't build anything. He planted those 10,000 trees on the bottom, those pines. Those are about 60 to 80 feet tall right now. He planted them in 72. I'm the largest landowner of riverfront, Grand Riverfront, independent Grand Riverfront in Ohio, maybe the country. We have a lot of feet of that on the backside that actually is accessible. A lot of the Grand River is not accessible because it has real big cliffs and ravines. Our particular piece of property does not. This particular property is sitting right in the middle of wine country in Ohio. It's very cool. But what's even more neat about this, we actually got offered double what we were paying for this property before we closed the property. Would you take the money? It's 7 figures, by the way. And we said no, because it's not for the money. You get to a point in your life, it's not about the money, it's about what you want. No. And I don't need it, I want it. And something me and my wife actually have been dreaming and talking about for over 10 years. We've looked at hundreds and hundreds of properties to buy. Nothing really spoke to us, that nothing was laid out properly, what we liked. Maybe it just didn't fit our, where we're at, too far away from the house, etc. This one fit. It's perfect. It's 20 minutes from the house. It's an amazing. So that's what I do for fun. A lot of people ask me what I do for fun or hobbies. I like to look at real estate. I like to build stuff, businesses and real estate. And I like to hang out with my family. That's fun for me. So markets, network effect marketplaces. Let me give you an example here real quick. These are businesses I like. I like businesses that have massive network effect, meaning one to many. So picture this. I was a small-time real estate. I was a gutter guy. I used to hang gutters, manual labor. I can only be at one job at one time, and I can only make so much money. You can only charge so much for gutters, right? And then I evolved into real estate investor. I realized that I could make 15 grand on one deal, more money than I can make in 3 months in pulling gutters, working really hard in the heat, busting my ass. So I'm starting to build confidence and belief in myself. I'm investing in myself, by the way. I'm going to mastermind and spending $2,500 a year on this and that and doing all kinds of cool stuff, meeting people. And then I evolved to doing rehabs. I was doing rehabs because I understood construction. That's how I grew up with my parents. And then it just was easy for me. So I was doing rehabs, but then I was like, I can only do so many rehabs without collapsing. Not everyone paid their bills and all that. Ultimately, what happened is, at the end of the day, this just keeps evolving. And then I started figuring out network effect, meaning how do I build a huge sales force? And this is how I scaled my real estate investment company. I had 17 people in the office acquiring properties for me. Not one, not two, 17. Then I had a manager on top of it, and then I had a COO running it. I didn't have to be present to make this work. Plus, this beautiful thing called technology, social media, webinars, etc., podcast shows. I could do a network effect by going one to many. I could shoot a 1-hour podcast show, and it could be heard 100,000 hours overnight, literally. So picture, how do I talk to 100,000 people one-on-one? It's never happened in a lifetime. But I can do it on audio. And then I started writing books in 2006, started connecting with people through my writings, one to many. It's a network effect. So start stacking these network effects, podcasts, books, seminars, telecalls, webinars, etc. And then before you know it, this has really created a pretty amazing snowball effect. So in 2008, I became, instead of a real estate investor, because everyone hated real estate. It was really tough. Everyone said, okay, if you kept doing the same thing, expecting different results, it's going to be tough. But what I did is I started listening to the market. It's hard. It's tough. I'm scared my investments are going to, dude, stock market was down 50%. Real estate's down 50 to 80%, depending what market you were in. So I said, I'm going to talk about money and cash flow, and I'm going to be like a financial consulting company, and I'm going to sell real estate as the tool, the asset. Instead of selling a stock, a bond, etc., I'm going to sell real estate that has monthly cash flow attached to it. When you do that, you change the narrative. They talk to you different. They look at you different. We did no financing. If you didn't have cash, you couldn't buy properties from me. We sold thousands and thousands of deals like that. I like to call this upstream deal flow. And as you become into the network market effect in your life and your business, you're going to get deals sent to you that you can't even believe exist. But that's why they're calling you. But that's just scratching the surface. These are massive opportunities versus drastic consequences doing it alone. I have a buddy I got to talk to. He had $100 million of real estate, but he has no cash. Sound familiar? He has equity, but he can't pay his bills. $100 million in real estate and has no cash. This is real, by the way. This is going on in droves right now. But he's a lone wolf. He's doing everything by himself. And I'm talking to him, and I'm listening to him. I feel for him. But I know how the story ends. It's not going to end well. There's going to be a BK attached to his name. He's going to have to protect anything he wants to keep at any level. And I'm not, again, not trying to be a Debbie Downer, but this is what happens when you go out here and you're rogue and you're like, I can do it on my own. I'll prove you wrong. Don't prove me wrong. I'm not trying to be wrong or right. I'm trying to be better. I have $100 million of real estate, but no cash. I don't care if it's 10 million or a million. It doesn't matter. It's all the same. It's just a different number. If you have no cash, you have no cash. It doesn't matter how much real estate you have. But that's why there's a lot of opportunities. Some people did buy real estate, right? They just can't get financing now because they don't have liquidity to be able to get financing. That's a real problem. Hence why I have short-term lending. Hence why I buy real estate. Hence why I buy companies and these verticals. So what are the vital few skills you need to thrive in? Networks, right? Like I talked about, it's my boy Sean. His huge network. I have a huge network in the DM world. That's what we have, networks. Networks provide upstream deal flow. Upstream deal flow means you get a call. Mark, I've been following you for 3 years. I have a company I need to sell, and I need money quick. You want to buy it? Because I know you buy companies. What's the numbers? Etc. That's how it works. I have amazing advisors. Like I said, that's my boy Ted. He's an M&A attorney. He's out of Ohio. Him and I've done many deal stuff together. Do you have advisors? People that's helping you bring deals, talk about deals, close deals, protect deals? We have money. Do you understand arbitraging of resources and money and time? It's my boy Eric. He sold a company for $115 million. He's big time in the vertical of Section 8 housing and all that stuff now. A great guy. He spoke at our last event in Fort Lauderdale to my audience, to the DM family, DM Alliance. These are the kind of guys I'm bringing in to connect you with. My personal brand. The goal is to create a compound effect. Everyone talks about compounding money. What about compounding your effect? What about compounding your brand worth? What is your brand worth? If no one knows you, by the way, it's worth nothing. You got to get people knowing you, but you got to know how to do it right. So these are DM members killing it and following these steps. Keith Marsh, Austin Rutherford, Tyler King, my boy Tim Bratz, I talked about earlier. These are all guys in the business doing what I'm talking about in our community. This is the winning mindset, where most are retracting but should be pushing all in. I'm sitting here watching great people get stuck. They don't know what to do. They're stutter stepping. They know what to do, but they're listening to too much consumption. They're consuming too many. Should I buy this business? Should I buy that business? Should I buy this or that? You should buy what works for you. What works for you. So you got to push all in. So I want you to understand, in 60 minutes, by the way, we're about 60 minutes deep. I know 5 minutes of it was me. You couldn't hear my voice, but let's talk about what happened in 60 seconds or less so far. Where you need to focus in 2024. You got to focus on cash flow and growth. It never ends. I don't care what level you're at, it never ends. You got to work on tax elimination acceleration. I don't care who you are, you can be better here. This includes me. That's why I have people on my team every day I'm talking to weekly on how to accelerate and eliminate. Phase 3, you got to grow through strategic leverage, talent, acquisition, passive, etc. Do you have anybody on your payroll in the $100, $200, $300,000 range? If not, maybe you're not there yet, but that's where you want to be. You want people making money in your organization. Because if you're able to pay that kind of money to them, that means you're doing well. Just like that guy I paid over $3 million to yesterday. Guess what? I was pissed off, actually. Why? Not because I had to pay him. It's because I wanted to pay him $10 million. You know what's cool about that? If you got paid $10 million, guess what I got paid? I got paid a lot more too. So when you focus on the right things and you're building the company the right way, and because the truth is, you guys are focused on a lot of small problems, and you're wondering why you can't get big results. Small problems should not be your thing. You want bigger problems. That means you're doing bigger things. Phase 4, walk away liquid in 5 to 10 years and compound it. In the next 5 to 10 years, I want the DM Alliance and DM community to have massive liquidation moments. I've been waiting for this my whole life. I can't wait for us to be sitting on the back of a yacht laughing about how powerful this opportunity was, how many amazing opportunities we've got together. But this leaves us with a few big questions, guys. Honest question. And this may sound silly because you might think you're thinking big, but are your goals big enough that you'd be willing to go all in while everyone else is retracting? You got to plant these seeds in your brain. Are your goals big enough that you can bring people that have big goals under your goal? This is why you can't retain or hire top tier talent, because you're pussyfooting around talking about big dreams at $1 million a year. That's what they want to make. They can't make that if that's what you want to make as a company. You got to think bigger. You got to get around bigger thinkers, bigger doers. When you do that, all tides rise boats, and you got to get in the boat to rise your boat. Another honest question: is your network strong enough to support your goals? See, I grew up in a world where if you had big goals, you were crazy. Mark, get real. You got to get serious, man. One day you got to grow up, Mark. I still got dumbasses telling me the same thing. Guess what? I'm not trying to be a dick, but I am being a dick. I make more in a day than they do in a year without working. But guess what? They gave up on their dreams, so they're gonna cast that upon you. And if you don't not around the right team, the right people, mental fortitude behind the scenes, you're gonna get drugged down with them. It's called the crab mentality. It's real. Look it up. You got to get serious. You got to get around people. You got to get uncomfortable. Stop being in familiar zone. Get in an uncomfortable zone and get growing your network. Honest question number 3. What's the probability of you actually hitting the goals we've talked about at the beginning of this training? Do you really think you can go out and send a partner over the next 12 months, $3 million to your partner? But Mark, I don't have a partner yet. Exactly. Are you retaining talent? Are you looking at talent? Remember, white Corvette. Do you see opportunities or do you see obstacles? But I don't have the money. Obstacle. If you don't have the money, you're never going to grow your business to the level you can in your bank account. You got to learn how to use resources, other people's money. But you can't do that until you understand how to do that and talk about it and dynamically create the conversation to make it make sense for them to do that with you. You're in charge of that. No one else. But it depends. You're probably starting to realize you have 2 options leaving here today to get results. Option 1, you take what you've learned today and apply it. I want all of you to be successful. As I look outside, it's not sunny today here in Florida, but if it's sun outside and it's all over the world, me going outside to get sun doesn't take sun away from you. Just like wealth, just like money, just like opportunity. There's so much fucking opportunity and wealth out here, we can't even scratch the surface at all. You and I, all of us here collectively, couldn't even put we'd be like a drop of pebble, a sand in the ocean. That's how big of opportunity it is in perspective. Or do we do it together? It's my boy Frazier and Jonathan. These are guys doing it. living it, create millions of dollars of opportunity, growing organizations, proud to be growing together. But we're going to open for a Q&A here in a moment, but if you would love, give me a few minutes, I'd love to run through what we'd look like. So remember at the top of the hour, I said the reason I want to take you behind the curtains is 100% selfish, but it's the best way I can help you get the same results and do the deals with each other. See, the best opportunity to leverage and accelerate is using the DMX ecosystem. I've invested 27 and a half years of my life doing the right thing every day, being an amazing connector, deal maker, dream maker with many people all over the world. So how do you know if you can thrive in the DM Alliance or the DM family? Most of my best members come to me either because they are real estate investors looking to gain time freedom and treat their life more like a real business, or create freedom. And if you're a real estate guy or you're a business guy thinking, yeah, I got it right. Do you? It's cool. If you want to lie to yourself, I still am growing. I still have mentors. I still have gaps in my game. We all do. But the ones that talk about it truthfully are the ones that get the reward. Or are they the business owners, investors looking to grow, accelerate, and leverage? Here's how this works with the DM Alliance and what you get. Every week, we jump on live Zoom calls. It's with myself and an expert, possibly, usually myself, and I bring in nothing. Nothing is off limits. You can ask any question. Today, we were there an hour and 15 minutes. The truth is, I did it right before this call. I had my buddy Matthew Loop on there, high-level chiropractor, became a big helper in that space, has generated many millions of dollars helping chiropractors grow their organization and practices. This is one of the calls. It's me. There's a lot of great people in this group. Amazing. We're 10x every one of your vital financial categories. Like I said, real estate investing, yes. Business building and scaling, yes. Scaling through acquisitions, absolutely. That's going to happen by osmosis in these environments. Recently, a new member who's sitting where you were at is Mark actually on these calls. Again, yes, it's me actually on these calls. This is my thing. I love helping doers. Not only that, we also give a bonus. We have immediate access to all back recordings of the DM Alliance Zoom Mastermind trainings. February will be 2 years I've been doing the DM Alliance, and I don't miss them. 52 a year, and there's way more than that because I have a lot of amazing DM Alliance members actually put a lot of great videos in there of their masterpieces, their works, what their unique abilities are. Not only that, a virtual boardroom and our mastermind Facebook group. Here's 3 posts from the past week. I share information and inside knowledge with them. But hey, it's supposed to be worth millions. Hey, heads up, here's what's going on. Here's a PDF for you. And then talk about relationship capital, some kind of cool stuff of what's going on behind the scenes. But when you're inside the DM community, you're not alone. That's the key. You're not alone. It's not like you're out there by yourself getting punched in the face every day. We also have a bonus number 3, private invites to live DM events. I do at least 2 of these live events a year, and the tickets are $5,000 a piece. But for Dealmaker family and DM Alliance members, it's free. It's a $10,000 value. We do jet trips, yacht trips. These are game changers, by the way. These are fun, amazing, mind expanding, and we do discounted experiences inside the group. First to know, we'll share investments and deals that I'm getting involved in before we share globally to give you a heads up to participate. One investment insight to create millions, the ones on the bottom line. It's cool to hear Matthew talk today about how we talked about an environment that's going on, and he's generated 6 figures. Many people in the DM Alliance and DM families generated 6 figures, and many have created 7 figures as well. Truth is, one member in 12 months created almost $6 million, $5.9 million to be exact, give or take, but created $5.9 million in newfound income. I'm talking gross income with one share we shared with him. Now, again, I'm not saying that's going to happen to you. I'm not saying he didn't work his tail off. He did, but he had a unique ability with what we shared with him, and he went out there and executed it accordingly, and he absolutely murdered it, and it's very awesome to see. What's also cool is bonuses. Another one is my personal advisory team. I bring on my M&A attorneys, fiduciaries, tax advisors, health experts, accounting peeps. By the way, every Thursday we do a health expert call. Accounting peeps, COOs, lawyers for real estate, and everything in between. Anything you need to help you grow your real estate business, your business itself. We are there. We have the insights of apartment investing, crypto, brand specialists, social media influence insiders like Matthew Luke today, and beyond. Pitch your deal. Need money? Want to sell your company? Want to buy a profitable company? This group's full of real players that buy and invest. Now, I'm not guaranteeing you, and there is a procedure to do this, but definitely let me know if you have deals. Again, I talk about this upstream deal flow. It's real. Wonder why it's real? Because it's happening inside our environment pretty much every week. Again, private affiliate opportunities. Members have made millions of dollars simply sharing information links, products, services. These are for insiders only. One piece alone. It sounds crazy, but it is true. They're generating 6 and 7 figures net without adding anybody to your team. Just understanding the game, the opportunity, and executing accordingly. Different testimonies. My boy Frazier, Rich McDaniel, TJ. What's cool about Rich, he served 29 years as the Navy Surface Warfare Office, commanded the world's largest Navy base. Frazier, you probably see this guy all over social media. He's worked with Chris Daughtry, turned him into an animal, which is pretty cool. And Frazier's he's not nothing to slack at either. Look at him, he's a beast. But a lot of cool stuff, crushing it, connecting with people. TJ, again, these are great human beings doing amazing stuff, guys. I don't want to bore you with real testimonials, but it's real. I talked about Josh Z. He's going to be breaking down a deal he did recently. He got $800,000 in equity with no money out of his pocket and is paid passively from this piece of real estate. What would $800,000 in equity do to your bottom line and making cash flow without coming out of money without your pocket? Pretty powerful stuff, guys. Free bonuses. M&A attorney, what you need to know when planning to sell for maximum value or buy a business for the best deal. My guy, attorney, he's done a video for you guys. He's going to share that with you as a bonus. It's a $5,000 event. Legal tax strategies, the wealthy and successful you to minimize taxes and accelerate wealth. Personal branding to attract pre-qualified deal flow. High-quality clients begging you to give you their money with my boy Ed O'Keefe. Kevin, the Gutter King, how he turned down $17 million offer. We have a private interview with him, sharing with you how that went down. Tim Bratz, how he's got acquired 9 figures in revenue, 9 figures in funding, as well as 4,000 units. Other examples from the DM Alliance, the DM family, the gun guy is my boy Dale. He's an amazing dude, crushing it, generated $3.4 million, I believe, give or take, in his first year in the brick and mortar business. It's absolutely amazing to do. He is a beast, like I said. But also, I want to do a private invite to Marco Island in January. We're going to do a DM Alliance and DM family members. For anybody that's a part of the DM Alliance, they can come in and be a part of that. I know I'm saying a lot here, guys. I'm trying to go fast here because I want to respect your time. I know you guys are all busy. But I want you to lock in your spot. If this is something that interests you and you're serious about, there's 2 ways to go about it. Number 1, get over to markevansdm.com/DM-Alliance. Or what I'd recommend is probably text. Would be way easier and quicker. Text Ed at 312-607-6799. Again, 312-607-6799. They all benefit great from expanding networks and more importantly than ever before. You're going to share your wins. Who are you going to share your wins with? Who are you going to grow with? Who are you going to convert opportunities with? Who are you going to close more deals with? You stay up to date on pivotal moments. Big time things are happening. You work on a business growth strategy. You get that money. That's what you want, right? I hope. You're accountable for so much more. So why I'm here today, 18 years ago a day, I made a promise. I want to impact more lives. I wrote down in 2005, I'm looking at the letter on my wall as I speak to you. I want to help 1,000 people become financially free. The question is, will you be one? And I'm not talking financially independent easy comparatively to financially free. I'm talking FU money. I'm talking creating so much wealth that you don't have to work. You want to work because you love doing what you get to do. Not have to do, get to do. Big difference. And that's my vision. That's my purpose. I've written books about this. I do free podcast shows about this. I'm here to help people. And that's the big picture. That's why I'm here. I want you guys to go out and crush it. If you're serious about this, text DMA now to 312-607-6799. Again, text DMA to 312-607-6799. The investment is only $1,000 a month. It is absolutely no-brainer. 2024 is going to be epic, and that's how I can help you crush your goals, your dreams, get you in our network. You have to do the work. This is not get rich quick. This is get rich definitely with amazing people. The relationships, the friendships you'll forge in these environments will be absolutely lifelong friends. You're going to connect with great people doing great things in the same situation and or beyond situation where you're at. All I ask is that you step in, step up, and give to another level. Invest in yourself. You are the best investment. Stop talking about getting 10x returns on your money and some 4x bullshit. You will make way more money in yourself. You can't make $10,000 a month on a $1,000 a month investment in yourself. I can't help you. I'm telling you right now, straight up, I've seen people literally invest $12,000 to make millions and millions of dollars with one piece of insider knowledge. Millions. This is factual, not bullshit. And again, get over to markevansdm.com/DM-alliance. You read all about it. Or text DMA now to 312-607-6799. I just want to say, guys and gals, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. I'm excited to be on this journey with you. I look forward to it. If you have anything you need help with, get in the DM Alliance, start your plan, get rolling, start 2024 off fresh. Get in today. I'll pay your taxes. I'll pay your taxes on that money you're paying. You can pay a one-time payment, all-time payment. I don't care. Just get involved. Get started. Get rolling. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to your family. Most importantly, you owe it to your future self because you know where you're going. Truth is, most people who come to me, they're going to succeed eventually. The question is, do you want to take the slow path or do you want to take the fast path? Do you want to take the hard path or do you want to take the easier path? They're both going to require work. But do you want to wait or do you want to execute and elevate this quickly and accordingly? Appreciate you guys being here. Text DMA now, 312-607-6799. Have a great day, guys. Appreciate you. Talk to you.
I'm more Kevin's deal. I'm here to help and teach him what I